My name is Ryan Shrewsbury and I'm playing John Proctor. I never thought I'd play Proctor in my life. It was always been a dream role, but I'm not like a strapping Liam Neeson square-jawed kind of hero dude that's the usual way they cast it. When it's done that way, they have kind of that romantic hero style with him, but in the way we're doing it, he's a lot more flawed and broken.
So when I came into this, my idea was that John Proctor was a garbage bag. So that didn't work from the moment I started working with the actors. I was like, oh, this won't work. And it's not because it won't work in the text, which is true, it probably wouldn't. But it is also because the actors have brought themselves, right? Proctor is, he's not a terrible guy, he's just a guy who doesn't do the right thing that often. Like, and I think that's kind of common. Like, he's like, I know that I have to take care of my family, I know that I have to like sow the seeds into the ground. Like, he knows how to do that stuff, but he gets really petty about certain things. And I think Proctor just makes a lot of bad choices, but I don't think that Proctor is inherently trash. And I think that was a big shift. I think what is true is that he doesn't make the right choices and he really struggles fessing up to his bad choices.
He's not this heroic, stone-jawed, kind of put-upon guy, like in our production at least, like he is in the normal one. He sends Mary Warren in to do his dirty work and like throws this even more naive girl in front of the wrath of the court when he could have just owned up to it. I mean, it's still a crime. Back then, at least, lechery is a crime. It is a big deal for him to admit what he's done. And the fact that he doesn't is kind of cowardly.
He struggles putting himself in the pathway of harm when the consequences are coming. He puts someone else in the pathway, and I think that's something that's really hard to deal with, and it's a much more complex issue than just calling him a garbage bag. It's like, oh no, that's self-preservation, right? That's thinking of protecting yourself because you have to protect your family.
I came into it like expecting that heroic put-upon kind of guy, but that's kind of naive to think about because, especially looking at it in like a 2019 context, I was kind of wondering how we were going to do it because it's a play about all these women are saying these things and the messages don't believe them, that's not cool. Like, making it not about the McCarthy type era, we have to look at it from kind of several angles and add in more nuance, I guess, to it and more grayness to all the characters. You know, Abigail is this 17-year-old who got taken advantage of, really.
Arthur Miller paints Proctor as kind of like, well, he's made a bad mistake, but you know, he's tried to atone for it and now they're trying to destroy his name. Abigail is not dumb and neither is Proctor, and they both kind of play off each other really interestingly. Ryan and Samantha are really interesting to watch because, and if you watch them, they are constantly in relationship with each other on stage. If they're on stage, it has to do with the other. We do a really good job of making it seem like he's being a little bit ridiculous. Like, he's like, why don't you forgive me after 7 months? And it's like, man, it's 7 months and you had an affair with a 17-year-old.
There's a scene that between Proctor and Elizabeth that I was initially playing a lot more sorry for what he's done. The very first scene they have together is a lot more like tender and trying to make this work. And Cordy's direction was to be more annoyed with the fact that after 7 whole months she hasn't gotten over this affair that's shattered their lives. It makes their final scene together way better because I would have just wound up playing it the same. He's still sorry, he's still, you know, please, like, I've done wrong, look at me, like, try to do good, but if there's an actual arc now. It's not just he was right to start with and ends the play right still. It was he made a lot of choices that were wrong, and then by the end of it, he has hopefully at least redeemed himself a bit, and it maybe his own eyes, but at least hopefully his wives.
I think Proctor's story is relevant because Proctor doesn't take responsibility. I think if Proctor took more responsibility, a lot of the parts of the play wouldn't happen. It's kind of shining that light on a man who struggles to take responsibility when he does something wrong. He knows it's wrong, and it's not that he's just trash, but it's that he's kind of been taught that he doesn't have to take responsibility because, you know, if he gets taken down, like, what's going to happen to his 3 boys? Like, that's the kind of, like, or what's going to happen to the town? What's going to happen to the farm? What's going to happen to Elizabeth? Like, those things are hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with. It's especially hard to deal with in the culture that we have today, or in 1950, or in 1690, right? Like, it's those situations are like, well, I don't know. I mean, how am I supposed to act? I've been raised to think that I'm the most important thing around, and so I think he struggles with that, and that's why it's relevant, because we still struggle with that. I mean, I struggle with it, and I'm not a man. I mean, I'm a genderqueer person, and I struggle with it because I've been enculturated that way.